What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, in 5 minutes or less, I'm going to show you how to swap out the old halogen headlight bulbs on your 2006 to 2010 Ford Explorer or Mercury Mountaineer to get your vision at night going from, oh my God, did you see the bee in front of the camera? Going from this to this. Now, the Explorers have a feature on the dashboard. It'll let you know when a lamp is malfunctioning, whether it be the front or the rear. Now, the newer LED bulbs will trigger the error code on a dashboard because there's not much of a resistance. So even though the bulb is working, the car thinks it's broken. Well, I had a company reach out to me and they wanted to know if I wanted to try some of their LEDs. And I said, well, I have an Explorer and I don't want to get an error code. And they informed me of their LED bulbs with the resistors already built in. So I would like to thank today's sponsor for sending me these bulbs. If you guys go down in the description, there's a link. If you click that link, you get 15% off anything on the store. They have so much to choose from. So the removal of the housings is so simple. There's 3 10mm bolts and we only actually need to remove 2 of them. So you have one here, and down in there, there's actually a 10mm bolt. You don't need to remove it all the way because the headlight housing has a little slot and you'll be able to just pull it out. You won't have to fish it back in later on. So we're gonna remove the first. We're gonna remove the second. And down there with our long extension, we're gonna remove the third one halfway. With that complete, we can grab the housing itself, wiggle it slightly, and pull it out of the vehicle. Now behind the housing, we have 3 connectors we need to remove. We have the first main one here for the headlight bulb itself. We have another one over here for a marker light. And we have another one over here for our blinker. Now we have our housing out. We can go ahead and remove the old headlight bulb by simply turning this counterclockwise. Now, if it tends to bind up, you can grab a pair of pliers, go like this, and we just pull straight out. As you can see, that red portion there, that's the old gasket. That's what gives us a little bit of trouble when we're removing the old headlight. We can take our brand new LED bulb, and without touching the filament, you don't want to get the oils from your hands on it. Reverse of removal, we're going to plop that in, turn it clockwise. Now we can bring it up to the vehicle. We're going to plug in our other 2 harnesses first. Now, what we're going to do is plug in the harness with the resistor built in. And if you can see over here, there's a little slot where the harness comes through. What we're going to do is try to very gingerly get this harness assembly through the little port here. That way we're not pinching anything. And if you look up through the battery, you can actually see the harness there. You can get your hand on it and guide it through. Now that we have the headlight in, we're going to install the 2 10mm bolts. Just make sure they're nice and snug. You don't have to crank down on them. And we're not going to forget about our third guy down there that we just have to tighten down because we didn't remove it. Now, if all goes to plan, when we turn our key on and turn our headlights on, there should be no fault whatsoever. As you can see, both headlights are working properly. They look amazing compared to the old yellow hue of the old school halogen bulbs. At this time, I'm gonna clean up and we're gonna go for a ride. All right, guys, so here we are out at nighttime. As you can see, I got the new headlights in. They look absolutely fantastic. Now on the 2006 to 2010 Ford Explorers, the 4th gen, the low beam doubles as the high beam as well. You don't have the secondaries like the 3rd gen does. So these headlights are actually the high beam as well. So here we have our low beam. And if I click the toggle, here we have our high beam. Now, one thing you might notice is that the right side is a little bit lower than the left side. So what I'm going to show you now is how to adjust that. So here we are underneath the hood. I have the headlights on, and this is when our 4mm comes into play. So we have this little adjusting terminal right here. Now, if you turn it counterclockwise to the left, the headlight goes up. If you turn it clockwise to the right, the headlight goes down. Now, ideally, what you want to do is have the vehicle faced against a garage door or the back of a building, something that's flat and continuous, so you get an idea, you can see the level of each of them. Now, I want to mention, if you have your headlights adjusted too high, it's unsafe for people and they might be flashing your high beams at you. That's a good sign that you need to adjust your headlights a little bit lower. But in the meantime, right now, I have my headlights adjusted pretty close. So if I do see in the future that somebody is blinking the high beams at me, telling me, thinking that my high beams are on and only my low beams are on, well, then I know I need to adjust my headlights a little bit lower. So the 4mm with this adjusting screw here is how you adjust it itself. If you have aftermarket headlight lenses, sometimes it's a Phillips head screwdriver, but the process is the same. Clockwise for down, counterclockwise for up. Anyway, guys, that's a wrap for today's video. Huge shout out to Auxito for sponsoring today's video. I'm super stoked about the new headlights. They look absolutely phenomenal. It's so much safer driving on these country bumpkin roads. You never know when a deer is gonna run out. It's safer for me, safer for the mans, and that's it. It's as simple as that. So guys, check out the description below. I leave the link, use code PLATINUM23, get 15% off. Oh my God, that was a bat. You literally cannot make this up. It's whenever I'm recording, something like that happens. Hope you guys heard that thud. Anyway, at the end of this video, I'm gonna leave a huge screenshot of a 2006 to 2010 Ford Explorer. It's got all the light numbers that you may need. And like I said, check out Auxito. They literally have every bulb for this truck. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna start to try to release on a weekly basis, so stay tuned for the next one. Peace. Oh no! Totally blown.